It's time for the games of April. Now, this is surprising because I didn't realize that April was so close, but it super is, and by the time you're hearing this, it probably is April. So, there you go. Put that in your stocking for Christmas. Matt, tell us a story. What's coming out this month?
Yes, there's a lot of good games coming out this month, I think. Yeah, we'll start with the PlayStation 5, shall we? So on April 4, which is the very start of the month, we have Grim Grimoire Once More, which is a remake of a classic Vanillaware game, which I never played. I never played the original one. So I'm very much looking forward to this, I think. Yeah, it's one of those, 2D, very pretty Vanillaware action RPG things.
Like Odin Sphere style thing.
Yeah, which will be good.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's their first. Is it the first? I think it is the first Vanillaware game, which has been remade and stuff. So yeah, it should be good. Then we have also on April 4, we've got Atari Mania, which is a micro game collection. So it's WarioWare, but Atari games, which
Didn't they already do this?
Did they? Is this already out somewhere?
This is the third Atari game that they've tried to put out. The first one came out, and I said it would be fun, and then no one talked about it, and I also didn't play it, and we heard rumors that it was bad. So is this like a quiet second try?
I don't know. I know Atari 50, which came out recently, was good. And that was just a dumping of a whole bunch of old games from Atari. But this one is an effort to wrap them up in a new package. Like I said, it's a WarioWare style micro game collection with Atari games. So in theory, that works, I think. You can take most of the Atari games and stick them into a basic WarioWare structure, I would think. Anyway, if you're into your Atari things, then that comes out on April 4. On April 6, we've got Curse of the Sea Rats, which is a pretty neat looking little game. It's a Metroidvania where you play as a mousy rat thing, and it looks cute and charming. It's been published by P-Cube, so it has a relatively high profile publisher behind it, and yeah, it does look good. That's on April 6. On April 11, we have Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened, which is Sherlock Holmes versus Lovecraft, which
that's kind of cool.
It could be a lot of fun. And on top of that, just the story behind the game actually getting released is pretty impressive, since the developer is Ukrainian, and they have been quite active in putting out the little updates about how they've been working with power outages and stuff. It's not...
there's nothing really happening in Ukraine right now, so I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be an interesting challenge, trying to develop a game in between dodging bomb shells and stuff. So good on them for getting it out there, and hopefully it is a good game. I'm looking forward to it anyway. If you're into your Minecraft, you've got Minecraft Legends coming out on April 18, which is an action strategy game. I don't know anything about this, to be honest. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Minecraft. I don't know what's going on there.
For.
I don't know what it is.
The kids who are playing Minecraft are not going to want to play an action strategy game. No one wants that. A kid who wants to play in Minecraft is going to build a house made of 4 blocks and say, I did it. That was it. No one cares. Stop trying to make Minecraft into a big universe. I don't care.
Isn't that kind of the response people had to the last effort they did to this? Like, they did that action RPG thing, right?
Game.
Yeah, the Diablo thing.
But also, it would crash your computer and destroy it if you uninstalled it, because it would delete a C file. Like a file in your C drive was really bad. Yeah.
Right. So they've done that again. No, I don't know. I don't know if Minecraft Legends will delete your hard drive or whatever, but it is coming out on April 18 if you want to do that. Also on April 18, here's an interesting one. The Puzzle Quest is back. Puzzle Quest 3 gets released on April 18, and I am looking forward to that.
DS series? Was it like a DS series?
Puzzle Quest?
Yeah,
the original Puzzle Quest was on everything, like literally everything. And Yeah, you can
And
play it on
Switch?
Switch right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's good fun. It's match 3, but RPG mechanics built into it, and it was it was actually pretty good way back when. And then Puzzle Quest 2 was like a microtransaction ruined mobile game thing. So nobody really played that one. But apparently this one I think is a proper effort to do Puzzle Quest again. So that would be good if they pulled it off. Yeah. And it is Australian developed and Australian owned and all that stuff. It's an Aussie game. So, get out there and support the Aussies. That's on April 18. Also on April 18, so yet another April 18, Disney Speedstorm comes out. This is a kart racer from well, as the name suggests, it has all the Disney characters. So you can be Donald Duck, whizzing around in a kart, shooting the equivalent of shells at dudes. I quite liked, I don't know if anybody on listening in on this podcast or you guys, Alan, Trent, and Harvard, remember the N64 Disney Speed Racer.
Oh,
But
already a thing?
what, you never played it?
Never heard of it, but
I played
wasn't
Cruiser.
Mario Kart like one of the first ones?
It was, yeah, it was on the N64. There was a Mario Kart clone starring Disney characters, which was quite fun. It came out really, really late
played,
in the N64's life, like really, really late. So
Played
a lot
Toy
of
Story Racer. That was my Disney-based kart game.
yeah, I never played that one.
The game
But
owns. It's really good.
I'm sure the Disney, I mean, I'm sure the Toy Story characters pop up in this one. This one does look like, I think it's got Marvel characters as well and stuff. And they're doing that weird thing that Disney does at the moment where it is going to be a free-to-play game, but to jump in at the start, it's like a premium or an upfront purchase,
Ooh.
which is odd to me, but there you go. So you'll be able to
Fair
buy
that,
it
yeah.
on April 18, and if you don't buy it on April 18, if you wait for it to come out in full release, then it will be free, which is, yeah, there you go. Anyway, first release is April 18. On April 18, you've got God of Rock, which I really hope stars Jack Black. I don't know anything about this game, but God of Rock sounds good to me.
I love the idea that they just made God of War, but they put Jack Black in it, so it's like, oh no, it's Rock now.
I would so play that. I would play the living hell out of that. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
God of Rock blends rhythm-based gameplay with fighting game mechanics for tense 1-versus-1 matches. So there you go, fighting game, but rhythm game. That would be an absolute nightmare to play. I'm just going to say that now.
Yep.
That's not going to
Having
be
just
good.
played a bit of Hi-Fi Rush, I can't. My brain doesn't work with that. Combining music and action in that way hurts my brain.
Yeah, now imagine playing like Dead or Alive or Soul Calibur, but rhythm game. Yeah. If that
No,
works,
thank
then
you.
that would be a miracle.
That's a lot.
But I don't
It
think
is
so.
simply too much.
On April 20, you've got Coffee Talk episode 2 coming out, which should be nice. The original Coffee Talk was pretty good as a Valhalla clone as such.
Didn't the director of that game pass away?
He did. But obviously they had enough of his material left to finish his game. So yes, he did pass away. Coffee Talk was kind of in many ways, it was the most high-profile Indonesian game. And yeah, so Indonesian dev, and yes, the lead writer, I believe it was, passed away in the process of making this. So this is his last project, I guess. And yeah,
It's rather sad.
it is very sad. Hopefully the game is a good legacy team. The original Coffee Talk was really good. Very, very good. So yeah, I've got high hopes for this one. On April 21, we've got Mo Waifu H, which is definitely an Alan's game. Meet
I
five.
just hate it.
Waifu H.
Yeah, meet 5 lovely bachelorettes and impress them with your rhythm and sharp reflexes. Is a simple and addictive rhythm puzzle action game where your goal is to match the target icon at the bottom of the screen with the incoming heart, star, or bolt icons that fly in from the top and sides of the screen. So yeah,
I love it when they have
That
like
sounds exactly
frame
like what it is.
games for these kinds of things, and they put too much effort into the frame games, so they make a very competent like breakout game, or they make a very competent like match 3 puzzler.
yeah, and really nobody wants that anyway.
Yeah,
They're just
it's
there
like
for the waifu.
putting a storyline into porn. Like no one's there for that.
So yeah, that comes out on April 21. Also on April 21, and much lower profile game that probably won't sell any copies at all, Dead Island 2 comes out.
I
See, I
love
don't know
the
who that's
original.
for.
The original was
Trent.
great.
It's okay.
Wait, how is this game only getting its second one? I could have sworn it's been around for ages and ages.
I thought that too.
Because
I thought there was a Dead Island 2 and it was absolutely terrible because it had a different developer. And
I vaguely
It was
remember
Riptide.
the development history being a bit rocky for Dead Island 2, and because it's made by like THQ, isn't it? No.
no, it's Techland.
Techland.
I was sure there was a Dead Island 2 which was done by not Techland. Another developer did like a sequel to it, but it was terrible and everybody hated it. Are they just pretending it doesn't exist? Or am I like having a
probably.
Shazam moment here where it
Well,
doesn't
this isn't
exist?
by Techland either. This is by like Dambuster Studios.
Oh, it's not
I
even a
do,
Techland
like-
game.
Yeah, if I do a quick Google
was.
search.
Good grief. What the hell
Maybe
is
it's a
going on
different
with Dead Island? Wasn't the Dead Island 2 like a cell shaded
I could have
cartoon
sworn.
game?
Was it the first one or the second one, or that we're remembering that had the stupid Australian character that was like
See, this is the
maybe
It's the
they were
summer.
entire
stupid.
game series.
I
They're
have
like-
no idea what's going on with Dead Island. Anyway, there's a new Dead Island coming out, so you can play it on April 21. And yay, if you're over Resident Evil by April
Yippee.
21, you can play Dead Island 2 or 3.
A game that will probably be extraordinarily
four.
worse.
Who knows what number we're up to? I'm saying 4. It's Dead Island 4. There's
Matt,
multiplayer.
I feel like what you're remembering is Riptide, and that was actually by
Advanced Joy.
yeah, that was by Techland, and then that was crap, and then no one's like there hasn't been a game since then. Like I feel like that's what you're remembering.
Maybe. I have no idea. I stopped following Techland when they got rid of their gothic horror game they were making. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I do. They were making a Hexen-like game set in kind of Europe, medieval, gothic, and it had skeletons and stuff that you were going to go around. It was called Hellgate, and they got as far as making
We're
like
in London.
no.
They're making a Hellgate. Oh, okay, sorry. I got really excited for a second there because that game was cool as hell.
No, they got as far as making like a mobile phone puzzle game kind of spin-off that they were going to use as a way of introducing people to this, and then it was going to be like this Hexen or Heretic style medieval first-person shooter hack and slasher, and it was going to be called Hellgate, and it looked really good, and then they just stopped.
And then it didn't come out.
And it didn't come out, so I never forgave Techland for that. On
It's fair.
It's not really fair, but that's what I've done. On April 25, there's Trinity Trigger coming out, which is an all-new action role-playing game combining the look and feel of iconic RPGs of the 90s with an emphasis on fast-paced, customizable combat. So definitely one of those modern retro-style RPGs. That comes out on April 25. On April 25 also, you got Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chords, which I'm very much looking forward to. This is Idea Factory's next one. And the original Fairy Fencer came out about a decade ago, I think. And it was a neat turn-based RPG, which had some pretty high talent behind it. It had Yoshitaka Amano doing the character art. He's the guy that was responsible for all the Final Fantasy games of yesteryear, or at least the concept art of Final Fantasy games of yesteryear. It also had Uematsu doing the music, or some of the tracks anyway. And it was a pretty impressive effort by Idea Factory to get an all-star cast together to make an JRPG in the Idea Factory style. So it also had plenty of fan service and all that stuff as well. And it was good. It was a very, very enjoyable game. And I never thought we'd see another Fairy Fencer, but we have. And that comes out on April 25. It is not going to be the same game. It is a tactics RPG rather than a turn-based kind of classical style RPG. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to it. Then we have on April 25 a game called After Image. Know nothing about it except the box art is quite nice. I like the box art, so there you go. I don't know anything about this game. It's just go and Google it while I'm talking here and see what I mean. What else we got? I'm just scrolling through. Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out on April 28. Is that the new Dark Souls-like Star Wars?
Yeah, it's the Dark Souls Star Wars game. I'm actually low-key excited for that. That should be good.
Well,
Respawn have yet to make a bad game.
the last one was all right.
I saw
this
this
one's
one's
really fun.
Fallen Order, right?
Yeah, the sequel to Fallen Order, or
I saw
the
them
next.
selling that for like $3 the other day.
Oh, did you? You
I
can get it on
can't-
Game Pass, so it's
Oh,
basically
yeah.
free.
It's not worth anything anymore. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
been
not worth
what,
anything
2 or
anymore.
3
That's how I
years?
played it on Game Pass.
But it was
I
all
would have bought
right.
it otherwise, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was going to say
I
it's
had a good
not.
time with it.
It's not great. That's all right.
It's a PS3 game hidden in like modern trappings.
It
Isn't it funny when
was.
we say that it's 2 generations ago?
Oh God, it is. Ugh.
I mean, it was fine. It was just an effort to do a blockbuster Western style Souls game with the Star Wars
good Star Wars
license
game.
on it. Yeah. So by Star
Yeah.
Wars standards, it was fine. By the overall video game standards, it was all right.
It's better than most modern Star Wars stuff, which isn't saying a lot, but it is.
Yeah. And then it's only, I mean, it's technically May, but I will mention it here because it is at May 2, so really close to April. Age of Wonders 4 comes out, which I'm very much looking forward to. That is a very big, grand strategy 4X thing with a spacey theme, and it is by Paradox Interactive. And yeah, it should be good. The last Age of Wonders was a massive time sink of a game and definitely deserved your attention. So this one, with any luck, will be just as good. So moving over to the Nintendo Switch, Zowie, that was all PlayStation.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort for PlayStation. It's a good month for the console that nobody turns on. I'm just scrolling through the rest of March
I
here.
turn it on all the time.
No, you don't. You just turned it
You
on
only
now
turn it
because
on
you
for
got Resident
Resident
Evil.
I
Otherwise, you
did just
never
turn it on
turned
now
it
because
on.
of Resident Evil.
Yeah. So on the Switch, we've got Grimoire Once More comes out on April 4 on Switch as well, so you can play it on the go if you want, as does Curse of the Sea Rats on April 6. So there we go. The PlayStation 5 is not yet in Pretty Girls Tile Match, but the Switch is. So if you like your Pretty Girls and Tile Match, then you have a game coming out on April 6.
It's a video game.
Yes. Paparazzi comes out on April 6 on Switch, which was a game that was released on PC quite a while ago, but people liked it, and it should be fun on Switch as well. It's basically Pokemon Snap, but dogs, which is good, objectively.
It's exactly what is on the tin, you know what I mean?
It is objectively wholesome and good-natured kind of game. I mean, who doesn't want to take photos of dogs, I guess?
I don't know, someone who hates dogs probably. Someone who's like petrified of dogs. Don't play that, it's a horror game. It's worse than Resident Evil.
Sherlock Holmes The Awakened is also coming out on the Switch, so there's that. On the same day, which is April 11, there's a game called Process of Elimination coming out, which is a Nipponichi game and is Danganronpa-like, I believe. So it's kind
I was
of
gonna say, the title of that sounds like a Steven Seagal movie from the 90s.
no, it's going to be much higher quality than that. But I think it's
Not
like
very
a
hard.
I think it's like a mix of Danganronpa style and also Phoenix Wright, you know, that kind of
Oh,
visual
cool.
novel style investigation thing. And you play as an investigator and need to get to the bottom of a mystery or something. There are 14 detectives on this island or something, and one of them is a serial killer, and you need to figure out who the serial killer is before everybody's deaded. So, you know, that kind of game, which would be fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, nice art style and stuff too. I'm looking forward to that actually a lot. That should be good. That should be a good time. On April 14, we've got the latest retro collection coming out with Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which were Game
Who
Boy,
is that for?
Game
Me.
Boy, Game Boy Advance tactics games, weren't they? They were RPGs, weren't they?
They
Yeah,
are
they're
a
straight
really unique
RPGs.
thing. It's like an RPG, but the combat is like a weird tile-based real-time thing that really mimics the feel of the original Mega Man games because you need to twitch to dodge attacks and like hit enemies on the right time. It's good. It's good.
Cool. I mean, I never played them. I will play these, I would think, just because I'll be curious and give them a go. If you buy the collection, there's 10 of them apparently. That's how many
There's
they
actually
made.
6.
Jesus.
How did they make so
They
many
went
of them?
Pokemon. They went Pokemon and
Ah.
they did like a red version and blue version. It's technically 6 games.
Right. And then
Oh.
if you buy this collection, you get all of them, all 10. So
Yeah,
the
you can
alternative
catch 'em all.
versions of each. Yeah. You can catch
Catch
them
all
all.
the Mega Man.
Okay. Anyway, that should be good, I think. You can also get Minecraft Legends on Switch if you want when it comes out on April 18.
Yay.
And also Disney Speedstorm if you want when it comes out on April 18. Switch is getting all of them at the moment. It's also getting Jack Black's God of Rock on. I don't know if Jack Black's actually in it. I'm pretty sure he's not, but yeah, it's there. That comes out on April 18. On April 20, we've got DNF Duel, which
Great
is
game.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
One
It's
of
like
the
a
most
fighting game.
one of the most popular and widely played RPGs in the world, which I've never heard
I'm
of.
pretty sure it's a Korean MMO, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, that would explain it. It's an MMO.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so it's back as a 2.5D fighting game, which
It's very
will mean
artsy.
absolutely nothing to me. But if it's a good fighting game, then I'll probably give it a go anyway. Okay, that
It's
comes
the
out.
most like, yeah, this is okay sort of game, you know what I mean?
Okay. That comes out on April 20, as does Coffee Talk Episode 2. That's also on Switch if you want to play it on that, as does Mo Waifu H on April 21. You can play it on that.
Moe.
On Switch,
Thinking
Moe.
like it's
I always say
Sizlak from The
Mo,
Simpsons.
it's Moe. On April 20,
It's Mo Sizlak.
on April 21, Nintendo's big release for the month comes out. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp finally comes out. So that's the remake of the
It's finally
first
out.
two. Yes,
They
it's finally
didn't
happened.
wait for-
The Way Forward remake of some very good GBA games. That's out on, what was it? April 21. On April 25, Fairy Fencer F also comes out on Switch. So Switch get all the PlayStation games this month. And
Why even buy one?
Oh, there we go. On April 27, Kizuna AI. Or AI? I don't know how you pronounce the name, but anyway. The original virtual idol character person thing. She's got a rhythm game, which was originally on the PlayStation VR as a VR thing, but now you'll be able to play it on the Switch as well. That comes out on April 27. Kizuna AI, Touch the Beat. Mugen Souls comes out on April 27, which was a PlayStation 3 JRPG, which was very niche and very popular within that tiny niche. It's
One of the
getting
first games I ever reviewed for DDNet.
Did you?
This is back when you didn't like fan service games. So I remember you sent me a message to say make sure that you critique the fan service.
That must have been a very long time ago.
Very, very long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of come around on that since.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. That comes out
Just a
on
little bit, yeah.
April 27. And that's it. That's basically it. So, Alan, pick one game. Just one.
I mean, I
It's going to be Dead Eye on the new watch.
it's probably just going to be Star Wars. I won't play it until it's on Game Pass, but I'll probably play it in like a year.
Fair enough.
You know what I
You'll
mean?
be playing
That's it.
Resident
It's-
Evil till then anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my plan. That's the rough idea. Is I'm going to play that game like probably 6 or 7 times in a row, just because. Why not?
Yeah.
You
Harvard.
know how it is.
I find that I've been playing nothing but GBA games for the last couple of months, except for the other gym, like all the GBA remakes and all of that, and all the GBA Switch games. So it's very fitting that I have the choice of either Advance Wars or Mega Man Battle Network, which are both like
I was going to say it's made for you.
iconic GBA games. I'm gonna say Advance Wars because I know what's gonna happen with Mega Man Battle Network. I'll play each one for 5 minutes. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's this one. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I don't want to do the water level, or I don't want to do the zoo level, or like every one of those games is an old school RPG. With
A zoo level?
Yeah, there's a level where the robots think they've become zoo animals. You need to guide them to the correct enclosures. Like every single
It
one of
sounds
those games
awful.
has a terrible garbage puzzle that you just have to get through. And that's usually where I stop and move on to the next one.
It sounds about right. I feel like GBA games have that curse. There's always one level that's just like the worst thing of all time.
Yeah, there's always one level.
Yeah.
Trent.
What am I playing? I am going to go with maybe not Advance Wars. We'll see. I might pick it up. We'll see. Depends. It's near the end of a month, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Possibly. I might get Advance Wars. I'm going to say Advance Wars.
It should be good. Way forward's pretty reliable.
It will be good.
And it did get, I mean, the reason it got delayed wasn't because it was in kind of development crisis or whatever. I'm pretty sure, didn't they delay it because they were worried about the
Ukraine.
optics? Yeah, they were worried about the
Yeah,
optics. Because it was
Someone was
originally
gonna
meant
come
to,
out
and then Ukraine happened.
yeah, it was meant to come out right around the time that like it started. And they thought, yeah, maybe this isn't appropriate. So they held back on it. And that's all. So
It's such a shame.
it is.
I mean, obviously,
but-
like the bigger issue here is
I
more
mean,
Ukraine.
I was going to say
existing
it's
at
also
this point,
it's
like,
also a bit of a shame of what happened in
There's a bigger
Ukraine,
problem
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
We're
bit of a
video
pity.
game podcast.
It's a bit of a pity.
yeah, just a slight issue. You know what I
What
mean?
is a true shame is it's not a remake of Days of Ruin. That was the better Advance Wars.
Days of Ruin was pretty sick.
Days of Ruin is kind of hated.
It's the
in
weird
fan
dark
base,
anime one.
but I also like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's cool as
weirdly
hell.
no one liked it at launch,
No-
and
no
then
one liked it.
I'm like, this is like way better. And like the story was gritty. It was great.
It
No,
was
no,
the
really
real-
like
The real pity is that it's not a remake of Fire Emblem.
They already did that, didn't they?
No,
That's what the GBA one was.
they've not done a remake of the Fire Emblems.
I swear that they had.
They
I'm
have
being
not-
honest at this point. They will just blend in together.
They have not done a remake of the GBA Fire Emblems. Telling you. So they
watch
should do
them
that.
remake Sacred Swords, Sacred Stones, and nothing else.
Um,
And Matt, what are you looking forward to playing, Matt?
yeah, it's definitely Fairy Fencer for me. I was such a big fan of the original Fairy Fencer, and yeah, while this is a tactics RPG and therefore a very different kind of game, I have faith and looking forward to catching up with my favorite characters for another adventure. That should be good.